All right, we're back here, and like I said, we're going to be putting together scales. We're doing stacked scales, okay? I got the black palm wood. It's beautiful, that wonderful grain inside of it. And this is just, I think it's a salted wood. I forget exactly what it's called, but it has wonderful grain in it like that. And again, when you put linseed on this, it's amazing. It just pops, has a little tint to it. It gives it a nice caramel and a high gloss. It is just amazing. No other word for it. Amazing. And anyways, okay. So basically, we got to figure out how to put it together. First, when we cut them out, well, I had to find a good color combo that I wanted, and I know I wanted to do the dark light contrast because that's the perfect yin and yang. And most of your Japanese knives that are hidden tang, that's what they'll do. They'll either do it one way or reversed. But I wanted to keep the African blackwood as the black palm as the major component in this because the grain is just, like I said, amazing on that, and I want to really show it off. And we need to find a good spacer. Now, a good spacer really consists of copper, which I have a bar of, or a much inexpensive way that I like to do it is I buy these tubes. Now these tubes only cost less than $5 at Home Depot, and it's copper tubing. It's really thin, really easy to work with. You can throw it through pretty much any bandsaw and it'll cut. So yeah, I cut it off and I turn it into little flat strips just like these ones, and they make excellent spacers. So you can just put them right in the middle, just like that, and then cap it with this one, and you have an awesome copper strip between there. Same thing. I buy brass bars though for this kind, and this is just an old scrap that I can reuse, and you won't even notice the difference because I messed up on a bolster, and the brass is really finicky because the drill bits and stuff will grab it really quick and jerk around, and so I floated a whole way out, and it did it bursted out of there, a blowout. Yeah, it blew out. So like I said, I'm going to take this, most likely this piece of brass, and I'm going to line it up with there just like that. So this is, I got 2 holes drilled pre-done right here. I did do it before I hardened the steel because afterwards it's very difficult to get I find a bit that will go through there. Believe me, I got a couple mistakes sitting around here to where you just have to, that's a shop knife now. It didn't make it. And that's what you have to do with your mistakes. Either make shop knives or hold on to it for Christmas gifts, right? But again, like I'm saying, you match that up with just like that. And let's grab the other piece, do the same thing, because it looks like we're gonna have enough. Look at that. We have enough brass in this old scrap to do both scales. Always save your scraps because you never know if you can use them again, and that's the important lesson here. Money is a big issue. Okay, so off camera I went ahead and took this to the bandsaw and I cut these in half. They cut out really well. The only problem is, and I sanded both ends to make them nice and flat when I lay them onto the things. You have to be really careful with brass and copper. It's a non-ferrous metal, so you can't use any magnets to hold it onto your sander or anything like that. And it does get very hot. So the larger piece that you can use in order to hold is easier to hold it on a sander. I use a 1x30. It's an okay sander. It's gotten me through so far. But let's go ahead and line them up and see how it's fitting. Again, it looks like it fits like a dream. That's phenomenal. Yeah. Okay, move that to the side. I'm gonna grab the other one. Let's see. Can't really use the top because it has that big gash in it like that. Again, I had a major blowout because the steel was too hot and it was like the bit was just like melting through it. It was crazy. So let's try it on the downside. Yeah, it fits fully across the handle and it sticks up far enough to where I think it'll work perfectly. So let's go ahead and glue it up. Set the knife to the side and okay. So it's been almost a day now, and they should be all dried up and ready to go. So let's check them out. Pop these guys off here. Yeah, see, and that's why I use the envelope. It's a nice stiff paper, and it doesn't really stick most of the time. Sometimes it does, but it's usually not too bad because we're gonna grind that off anyways. See, a little stickage, but for the most part, it really doesn't do too bad. But yeah, excellent. Okay, we're gonna go over to the sander and we're gonna go hit up the grinder and get these all straight and level again, because it looks like they may be just a little bit off. Done with the sanding, but here's the interesting news, and you have to be careful. I dropped them on the way here, so they split open, both of them, but that's okay. I think this would be a great way to do it too. So the other way to do it, to match up your scales, is find the perfect placing for them. Let's see. Only you can prevent forest fires. All right. Matches underneath here too. Disco. All right. So again, a lot of people use a clamp. I just use tape. I mean, you can clamp it because you can get a spinning knife, and that's really cool until your thumb gets caught in there. But I'm going to tape this up real quick, and I'll meet you at the drill press. Okay, you can see that come out really well, and it's really cool because when you use a lighter block than it is the wood you're carving, you can see that at the end there was a seepage of the the pine come out of it, and that's how you know you've drilled all the way through. And this has been the standard way that I've done it for a long time, and it has been proven the best way to line up your scales. So, like I said, you get a better fit that way, and I like to use that method over anything. See, so now all you have to do is put this right on top of there and drill on top of that. And by keeping it in block form like this, the tape, or maybe use a vise or a clamp or whatever to put in there is more effective. A lot of people use what they call a drill press vise. I have one. It's too big for my drill press, so I don't use it that often, but I do have clamps that do go all the way around there that I use for more difficult projects. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this other one, and I might go ahead and use these scales. I really like them. They're a little bit thicker, a lot better. Okay, off screen I went ahead and attached the liners to it. I chose the red. Like I said, I just took the cardstock and I doubled it up. Let's see. Yep, they didn't stick. See, most of the time it doesn't stick to this little stickage. There it goes. But yeah, it came out great. See, and all you have to do is really just cut it off with the bandsaw, because you already have the line cut out for the actual knife itself. So this is all overlay and it has a nice high gloss to it. So, but most of that stuff will come away when we do our grinding to shaping it up. I got my pins all ready to go for that. I just got to finish up putting the holes in for the top mount, and we can go ahead and attach it to this beautiful blade. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean the surface with acetone. Pick up a quick jar of acetone, just wipe it down, and make sure everything is clean and non-stick. All right, let's get this rocking and rolling. Oh, I don't like. There we go. As you can see, we got those drills holed. We lined everything up, and we got it glued up, and now we wait for it to harden. So, yep, we're just gonna wait for it to harden. All right then. as you can see, the handle came out really well. This is all just the rough sand. Did it on the machine here. So now we have to switch to hand sanding, and I usually go up to either 1,000 just for the handle. Sometimes 1,500 because I have it on hand. This is the black palm here is kind of weird. It's fibrous. So even though on the power sander here, I took it up to 400, it still has little hairs that are trying to poke up and get me. But as you can see, it still has a very beautiful finish already on it. You can see the red liner came out really good on it. It's amazing. But I'm not going to make you sit through and watch me do the hand sanding on the handle though. I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like with the linseed oil on. Alright, I finished up all the sanding and everything, and like I said, we're going to put boiled linseed oil on here. It's going to really make it pop and shine. So let's see here. Pull it off. And this stuff is amazing. It's inexpensive and it'll last you a lifetime, I swear. Alright. There we go. But look at that. Yeah, beautiful pommel shine it gets on there. And it has a little bit of tint in it, so it'll turn this wood a nice caramel color. Some parts of it though, not all of it, and that's what I love about it. It'll really make it pop, like I said earlier. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And you want to make sure you have enough in it. Oh, and it has a wonderful smell to it. Nice woodsy, earthy smell to it. But really condition it in there. Make sure you get every square inch, because this not only helps protect the wood and gives it a good shine, it just does marvelous things. When the customer first grabs it, they just know that it's high quality. They can feel it in their hand because it gives it a nice grip to it and everything. And see, and I know I make my handles seem a little bit small. I have, I think, a 5 7/8 hand. It's my glove size, but that's why I put these notches in my blades, so you can actually, have a finger grab on it when you're cutting on the cutting board. Because I've always liked that, and I hate bigger blades with a huge ricasso, to where you're almost down here and cutting yourself, where the blade will almost overlap. So I always put a nice finger well in there, and the pinky should stop at the break right there. And yeah, so I'm gonna dab a little bit more on here, and a lot of the times too, after I get done with the linseed oil, I will go ahead and put some. This is wood finish polish. It's like it's a beeswax, so it's food grade. It's food safe. You can do it on there, the whole blade, in fact. Put a nice shine on the whole blade. And I like to package mine up in that. And whenever I send a blade out, I send it with instructions of Damascus on how to take care of it, because it's good to oil it. Dry off your blades and keep them oiled with a good mineral oil, a food grade mineral oil, every, 3 days to a week, to keep the rust off of it, because it is a high carbon steel and they are prone to rust. But if you keep them nice and dry after every use, make sure there's no food stuck on them, you won't ever have an issue. And they are beautiful. And for the price of some of these, some of these sellers sell theirs for, God, anywhere from $300. I've seen Kramer knives go for $5,000 at auction. They're heirlooms. You hand them down. They're a good quality product. Yeah, look at that. Everything lined up just right. It's amazing. Oh, see that shine? It's a beautiful shine on there. All right. Well, I'm going to say goodbye for now. And I got to finish up this blade, put a nice high gloss min wax on the actual blade itself to bring up that high carbon or high nickel content in there, and get my touch mark on it, and I'll ship it off. Till next time, thank you for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe so you can get ready for the next video. Have a great day.